UCONN, UCan. Connecticut wins back-to-back national titles last night and their sixth national title in 25 years. Welcome to Game of Inches. Let's talk about it. Did you watch that game last night? UConn versus Purdue. Connecticut let Purdue hang around in the first half, and then they made their adjustments like they had all season long to win the game by double digits. Connecticut winning their sixth national title in school history. They won a title in 99, 2004, 2011, 2014, 2023, and 2024. Six national titles. They now have three more national titles than any other program in the last 25 years. Duke won three. They won 01, 2010, and 2015. North Carolina has three, with wins in 04, 2009, and 2017. And Kansas and Villanova each have won two. So Connecticut runs the sport. Connecticut is just the most dominant program we have going right now. I know not every year they even make the tournament or they've had some losing seasons, but when they're on top, they are on top. Because last night they also became 6-0 in national title games. So if they get there, they don't lose, they win. The only time they've lost in a Final Four was in 09 in the semifinals. That was it. They did lose in the Elite Eight a couple times, but if they get to the Final Four, they're winning the national title. So congratulations to the UConn Huskies. They had a remarkable year, a remarkable run. They were 12-0 in the last two tournaments, winning all those games by double digits. And now the focus is to see if they can three-peat, which I think it's possible. They are losing a lot from this roster. They're going to have to revamp their roster, as you have Newton and Spencer, two senior graduates moving on. You have Klingon, who I think should be the first pick in the draft. I'll talk about that more in a second. You have Stephon Castle, who's a lottery pick. I say he's a top 10 pick. And then a Caravan, he could be a late first rounder. He showed a lot of versatility. And in this draft class, depending on who comes out, he could get into the first round. I think he's an NBA player. But we'll see. I think there's a lot of players in the portal that kind of fit what Connecticut likes to do. So we'll see who they pick up. But we don't have to talk about three-peating. I mean, let's enjoy the moment. And I just wanted to get on here and talk about the game real quick. I was real impressed with what Connecticut did. Zach Edey, I was with Purdue all year. I was kind of picking against them. In the tournament, I thought some teams would kind of speed the game up, which would wear him out, or they would attack him and get him into foul trouble, and nothing like that happened. But I like the way UConn approached it. UConn said, "Hey, we're going to take everybody else away. We're going to guard the 3-point line and not let any of your shooters get shots." I mean, they were 1 for 7 from three. This is a team that was the second best, had the second highest 3-point shooting percentage in the country this year. And they only got 7 attempts up and only made one. Just extremely well played. Sensational defense by UConn. And for them to do that and just take the game away like that and just say, Edey, you're going to get yours. He got 37 and 10. But we're just going to play. We're going to play one-on-one for the most part when we have Klingon in there, and we're going to take away everybody else. And even when they did double, when Klingon got into foul trouble, and or needed a quick breather, and they brought Samson Johnson in there, and they did double a couple times. Um, there still was, there wasn't any open looks for Purdue. So just I give it up to Dan Hurley. What he's doing at UConn is very impressive. He said they're the hardest working program in the country. I believe it. I think their practices are intense. I think they they outwork everybody, and when they go to every game, they're always prepared. Dan Hurley's really good at X's and O's. I mean, the adjustments he made all season long um, just have been incredible, and he's made the right moves. Um, and I'm just impressed. I don't know if this is the best UConn team. I would like to maybe debate that later. I think I think 99 and '04 were very talented. I think what Kimba did in 2011 was remarkable, and I mean that was a pretty nice roster as well. So I think what this team was the best team in the country, hands down, and they took the team that was the second best team in the country, and they just kind of took them behind the woodshed a little bit. So like the rest of college basketball has to figure out a way to kind of catch up with what UConn's doing right now because they are head and shoulders above everybody else. Um, I don't know. I can't really pinpoint what they're doing uh, to make them at that level, but I'm enjoying it as a fan. I mean, I've been a Connecticut fan probably since at least '94, so 30 years. I've seen all their championships. Um, I've enjoyed each one. Each one's been a little different. A couple of them surprised me, like 11 and 14. I didn't expect those that year. That those kind of snuck up on me. But you um, '04, I thought all year long that team was good enough to win the title. '99 was really good, but you had powerhouse Duke, and I think that one feels even more special because they did beat Duke, and that was supposed to be one of the best Duke teams ever. Um, but I like these last 2 years. I watched I watched UConn early in the season in 23, 22, winter of 22, December game, November game. And I was like, man, this team has all the makings of being a champion. And then they hit their kind of inconsistent play there in January. And I was like, oh, I don't know what's going on. But they flipped the switch, and I still was picking them. And sure enough, and they cut down the nets and in Houston. And I saw them this year, and I was like, oh, I think will they do that again? They got a good squad. And I didn't see, I didn't know they were going to be this dominant. Uh, so I'm very pleased as a UConn fan. And as a college basketball fan, we like to see heavyweights, and we like to see dominant teams. And it gets more ratings because it's like, ooh, this dominant team gets someone to come in there and knock them off. So like next year, everybody's going to be gunning for UConn even more, right? So it's going to make college basketball better. It's going to make teams have to get better, and programs are going to have to try to better their chances and find a blueprint to beat UConn, or find the blueprint to copy what UConn's doing, and it's gonna make college basketball on whole a lot better. So I'm looking forward to that. Um, anyway, go Huskies.